Happy New Year. This is Coach Adrien wishing you peace, prosperity, and happiness in 2024 and beyond. Rising food inflation, wars, death, and destruction, religious persecution, violence against minorities, and ethnic cleansing. The unstoppable sound of marching feet, protesting injustices. These are just some of the labels on our nightly TV screen. What is your wish for 2024? What is your expectation? And speaking about expectation, I bring to mind expectation theory. Now, expectation theory, first introduced by Aristotle, advanced that forward-looking decisions must be based on expectation formed by reason. According to Aristotle, it must be free from the corrupting element of passion. That's how we describe it. Reason must prevail over public opinion, conventional wisdom, and emotional sentiments. Let me just draw an example from the labor market. In the labor market, once the offer is accepted, a rational expectation is formed. For example, the worker plans his consumption, his investment, in fact, his life, on the hope that he will be paid every day, every week, or every month. That is to say, his future payment and settlement is certain. To him, there is no uncertainty about his remuneration. Now, as I just said that, something come to mind. Just wait. Isn't that what the writer of Hebrews means when he says, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Now, that is in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. So, Aristotle is saying that our decisions must be made on rational thought. And if it is made on rational thought based on reason, therefore it's a plausible expectation. So in a sense, in the spiritual economy, we call that faith. And that is what the writer of Hebrew is saying. It is believing that what you don't see, but the evidence that you have is so concrete that you can form a rational expectation on that and plan on it like the worker in the labor market. Furthermore, do you know, with respect to the end of our tenure on this earth, that Jesus Christ mapped out the expectation from the 1st century AD and beyond? He did. For the detail, please read Matthew 24 and Luke 21. The time was AD 41. The place was Palestine, today Israel. In Jesus' final teachings to his disciples, he promised to come back to earth, end suffering, and bring everlasting peace. This is what he said, and I quote, I'm quoting John 14, 1 to 3. He said, I go to prepare a place for you. I will come again and receive you. And he assured them of the certainty of the expectation. In Matthew 24, verse 45, in this same prophetic chapter that I mentioned a while ago. He says, the sky and the earth won't last forever, but my words will last forever. In other words, his promise, what he says, is rational because it will always come to pass. In 1865, 34 years later, Peter, one of the disciples, warned that in the last days, people whom Peter described as scoffers will come, mocking the truth about Jesus' return and the end of this earth. Peter said that they will say, what happened to the promise that Jesus is coming again? Read the detail in 2 Peter chapter 3. Now, this, according to Aristotle, is irrational thinking from the scoffers because it's not based on reason. Peter went on to explain God's mathematics. He said, a day is like 1,000 years to the Lord, and 1,000 years is like a day. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, the very same chapter that I asked to read for more detail. Therefore, consistent with Aristotle, the 2.3 billion Christians in the world who are expecting the second coming of Jesus Christ and the setting up of God's eternal one world government have a rational expectation. Moreover, this expectation is a certainty. Mind you, today, despite the offer on acceptance, despite the enforceable contract, and despite the guarantee, vagaries, externalities, and disruption make day-to-day exchanges very uncertain. As Peter pointed out, this speaks to the radical difference between man-made mathematics and divine mathematics. With man, and note it, that is correct. With man, the passage of time creates anxiety. That is correct. As time passes, people get anxious. With God, the passage of time counts down to the fullness of time. That is what Paul explains in Galatians chapter 4. Read the whole book for detail. Galatians chapter 4. I quoted Galatians chapter 4 and verse 4. So with God and with God, divine mathematics, there is no supply chain disruption. There is no uncertainty, but there is absolute certainty. Look out, guys. Since the point that we are making is since AD 31, God's clock is counting down to the end of this earth, the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's almost 2,000 years ago. So therefore, 2024 reminds us that the end of all things is at hand. And we always end our clinic by reminding ourselves of the two principles that help us make wise choices. The first one is from William Penn. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is doing it. And the other one is like unto it. Truth is truth, even if no one believes it. And a lie is a lie, even if everyone believes it. And we always end with our last word, the word to the wise. Our word to the wise this time comes from Jesus Christ himself. Speaking to John, that is John the prophet, John the revelator, on the Isle of Patmos, and that is on the west coast of Turkey. And he spoke to John in AD 96. That's about 60 years after he made the promise. Rational expectation. And this is what he said, that John should reveal to all those who believe on him and to the whole world concerning his return and concerning the end of this age. He said, look, I am coming soon. Revelation chapter 22, verse 12. Look, I am coming soon. 2024 tells us, look, the Lord is coming soon. For more information, visit my website, www.goadriens.com. Look out for a new video posted on my YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter on the first day of each month. Connect with me, connect with Coach Adrien via mobile, 869-668-9752, and via email, peter@goadriens.com. Thank you for viewing. I always ask for your subscription and for you to like my video. Happy New Year and happy expectation.